I think I had it was kind of a moment of like, no, like that can't be. Like that like disbelief at the fact that it's Leslie, like you hear it and you like believe it, but you're like, no
No
way. Like I
way.
can't like I can't actually like be believing this that this is actually Leslie. Like
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Cosmere Connections. We're a collective of book-loving nerds rereading Brandon Sanders's Cosmere series. From book 1 to book 16 million, we'll be uncovering every secret connection there is to find. On our show today, we have Swiggity Swoo,
We're almost done with the book, everybody. We're almost there.
John,
I'm his sword.
Kay,
we are into the Sanderlanch.
and I'm ReaderWarrior. And today we're going to be covering the final main part of the story of Shadows of Self, chapters 22 through 26, all of part 3. And I have the luxury of picking chapter 22, which is the one where we find out Bleeder's identity, but first we got to deal with the inciting mob. So Wax lands right on the steps of Innate's mansion, and nothing really shocking there. He barges into the room, kicks it down, because he hears that Innate is practicing this strangely very like anger-inducing speech to the masses. Why would he do that? I don't know. He walks over to one of the windowsills and he starts thinking, trying to figure out this whole mystery. And this is the scene where Sherlock is like sitting down in the circle and figuring all this stuff out. And his finger taps against some gum. A very familiar type of gum because apparently only one person in Wax's entire circle has started chewing gum. And he realizes
Yeah.
Wayne must have been here. And instead of just thinking, Wayne was here and then he left his gum stuck to this windowsill like the piece of crap he sometimes is. He's like, no, Wayne was here and now he's gone. And then he spins around with his gun, aiming it at Innate, but Innate has the gun on him as well for some reason. Because Innate knows that he'll figure it out right then and there. Because Innate is actually Bleeder. Hold for
Dun,
applause.
dun,
Dun.
dun.
I'm glad we had the same thoughts, Swiggity.
It's a recurring bit
That's
at
what I
this
paused
point.
for. Exactly. So it turns out Bleeder has been preparing for this for about 2 years, and she wasn't leaving anything up to chance, because she herself, the person who was under threat by this insane Kandra assassin, was in fact the insane Kandra assassin. And apparently Drim knew the entire time,
I
which
know.
I did not
Yeah.
remember.
I think we had a conversation about that previously, about whether or not Drim knew what was going on.
See last episode's spoiler section.
Yeah, I did not remember that. But apparently Drim was in on it.
I would like to say, I think I said that Drim was in on it, and y'all were all like, no, he wasn't.
That sounds about right.
Until the
Listen.
episode is edited, you can't prove it.
Just like to say.
Yeah.
I don't know squat about squat.
And
So
we never
like,
accidentally post
don't
the
listen to what I
episodes out
say.
of order, so.
I mean, that's never happened.
Uh,
Um, and so she's like, I don't really know. She starts monologuing. She starts
monologuing.
And then Wax foolishly calls for help. And so these guards who are tasked to protect Innate come in and see Innate holding a gun and being held at gunpoint by Wax and at Wax. And so, of course, they think Wax is the bad guy. And as they go to shoot him, Bleeder just that's all along their bodies. And they all go down. Except for one, kind of, that pretends to fall down. MeLaan. Right when the opportune moment comes, she grabs Bleeder by the leg so Wax can try to stab her with the plunger, but Bleeder has a little bit more speed left, takes the plunger, stabs into MeLaan, runs out of speed. That's good. And then escapes. And turns out that MeLaan has had this done on her, like those freaks who do taser tests.
The way you said that, it made me think dreidel, dreidel, dreidel.
Nah. But before Wax goes to chase after her, he hears some thumping from a closet, because Wayne's always in the closet. And there he is, tied up. And Wayne explains that Bleeder / Innate and MeLaan had the same A's, implying that the Kandras have their own dialect / accent. That's the word.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. And so Wax starts trying to untie him, and Wayne's like, "Nah, mate, you gotta go. But first, from my pocket, here's the thing Renette gave: a magic silver bullet, and that'll be important for later." And that's chapter 22.
Well said.
Oh wait, there was a fun little reference at the beginning about mist vanishing, and it sort of reminded me of how Vin described the mist back in Era 1, and how it was like vanishing on a hot summer stone or something.
I just have one question. What the heck is a taser test?
Oh, have you
it's
not
the guys
seen
who, like, they tase themselves for views.
They don't, no, so you get usually it's in military, but they're holding one person. They say, "Are you sure about this?" And they're like, "Yeah." And then they say, "Taser, taser, taser," and then they shoot the person so the person can know what it's like to be shot by a taser.
Get ready to rumble!
This song's called Chapter 23, Summary. Wax. Wax was a bullet in the night, rushing through the mist. Sorry, let me try this again from the top.
I don't know. I liked the vibe.
He's starting a rhyming scheme.
I got the yips or whatever. I gotta shake it off. Chapter 23. Wax was a bullet in the night, rushing through mist, chasing down Bleeder, who shoots in the air to clear a crowd of people. Wax loads the bullet, the single bullet, the one he got from Renette. Bleeder swaps bodies into a coin shot, tells Wax he is just a pawn. He's Harmony's hands. Harmony led him from the roughs to the city. Wax holds his own, though, but she runs away. She still pushes, to be precise. Not a smart move, though. Steel was his domain. And that's the end of Wax Pov. Any questions, guys?
No.
Not question, but I love the detail that when Bleeder says his or him, or the pronouns when talking about God, hers aren't capitalized, when in previous things we've seen they were for Wax.
That's a fun detail.
Hello.
Yeah, that's a cool one.
Yeah. As the rest of us are audio listeners, we would not have known that.
Right.
I was doing the summary and I didn't even notice that. Moving on. Wayne and Marasi stumble on Governor Bones. Of course, Wayne cracks wise, and MeLaan shows up just in time to save the day. "We need a speech, please," and Kandra will do. MeLaan eats Governor Bones. Something Wayne might want? Because he's talking about, "I always thought humans would taste delicious."
delicious.
And he even invites her to
That
like
makes
nibble
more
on his
sense.
arm. Okay,
A
Wayne.
little love bite.
Well, whatever you're into.
Yeah.
That's the chapter.
Literally my only thing is, when did Marasi get back? Because in 22, like, she says, "Oh, I'm gonna go off find Steris and wait for a carriage."
I
Yes,
don't
she's
think
waiting
she-
for food.
My cabbages.
I don't think she ever like left. I don't think she ever left. I think because like this everything started happening, and so she just stayed around. Like she didn't ever leave.
It's more so just the annoyance of why the whole go check in on stairs thing. Why not just have her, I don't know, do a loop around the building, make sure nobody's gotten in or anything.
I just like
I don't know, maybe because we haven't heard from Steris this like entire book, basically.
Yeah.
true. I just liked Wayne in
She
this
pretty much said,
chapter.
Wax, go do the thing.
Well, she couldn't have been there for, when Wax calls in for help, because she would either A, believe Wax, or would have just gotten shot and killed. So she had to be out of the picture for that part. But then just, yeah.
I'm guessing what probably happened is that she was waiting for a carriage to take her to go check on her sister when like she heard from when Wayne like rushes down the stairs like
Just, and it is the Kandra. No, he would have said it somehow stupider. And it has weird days.
Okay. 24.
Yeah.
Okay. So Wax is jumping through the city chasing after Bleeder. Bleeder has switched bodies and she is wearing one of the marksman's masks again. And Wax quickly like says like, "Oh yeah, that she's definitely not the marksman." Because she is acting differently than how he did when he was a coin, when he chased the marksman. So this isn't. So he knows that this is someone different. He's chasing after her, and he catches up to her. He eventually catches up to her. He does, little slides, corners, ducks, cuts his weight so he can get that little bit of acceleration with each push, and he catches her up to her, and she turns around and she rips off her mask, and the face underneath is Leslie's.
Oh no!
How could she?
And then we switch to Marasi's POV. So
Classic.
Yep, classic cliffhanger right there. So switch to Marasi's POV. So Marasi is in the crowd with the rest of the constable, waiting for MeLaan, pretending to be innate, to come out to give the speech. MeLaan comes out, and the crowd quiets. And Marasi is like, "What is going on? Why did everyone get so quiet?" And she notices that she's not feeling as worried as she was earlier. And then it comes to her, "Oh no, I'm being soothed. This whole crowd there's a soother in this crowd." And she looks around. First she looks for Ardell, but he's too far away. She can't get to him. And so next best person is Reddy. So she talks to Reddy, and she's like, "Reddy, someone is soothing this crowd." And he's like, "No, they're not." And she's like, "Reddy, you hate me. How do you feel about me right now?" Like, and he's like, "Oh yeah,
Ross,
like
I do hate you.
I do hate you. You're correct. And so she gets him on board. So she quickly looks around to try to figure out where the person is soothing from. And she guesses that there's probably actually two people. There's probably a soother and a. So she looks around to try to figure out where they are. And that's basically the end of the chapter.
I do agree that it probably wasn't, she was not marksman the whole time, but I feel like the argument of saying, oh, she has a different style might not work on a Kandra, considering she could have been playing his style and now she doesn't have to.
Yeah. I still don't think she was the marksman, though.
I don't
do
think so either.
that. Just because she has a different jumping style doesn't necessarily mean.
There's a point where Wax is like, turn yourself in. And I have to wonder, now that we kind of can talk about Bleeder's history, what the fudge would happen if she were to do so? Like, sure, like Harmony wouldn't just like lock her in a room, like try to give her some help, maybe?
I'm not sure if my answer requires the spoiler section, so I'm going to err on the side of caution.
Why don't we put a pin in that conversation, Reader, until until later? I think
Yeah.
that's a great question to talk about.
A fun little what if, one might say. I really kind of wish this next chapter was a little bit longer, so you could have that, because we get Leslie's face, and then you have a chapter where you think she's just trying to manipulate him, and then you have the reveal where, oh, she was actually being truthful the whole time. I kind of wish there was
stealing things from other people's chapters and just starting
you want
to
go ahead
talk
and do
right
my
now.
chapter for me there,
I'm
buddy?
just saying, I wish there was a longer period where this reveal kind of like really hit, because the next like 3 chapters go by really quickly. And it's so good. So good.
There's plenty of trauma. Just hold your beans.
So good. All the trauma. And then real quick, just asking for confirmation, the set's plan, they don't know that Bleeder is now, running away with Wax, kind of. They think MeLaan is Bleeder. They're here to make sure that the riot happens. Okay, so yep.
Yeah. Real stand-up guys.
They're just doing their. I kind of wish that I'll say that.
We done? We done?
Yep.
We done?
Young, go.
Can I go? Can I go? Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go now. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, go.
So this is one of those split POV chapters, and I'm going to recombobulate them so that instead of going Wax Marasi, Wax Marasi, Wax Marasi, we're just gonna go Marasi, and then we're gonna go for the trauma.
All right.
So Marasi listens to MeLaan speaking as the governor, as she's busy looking around for the soothers. Reddy gives instructions to the posse that he's gathered, who leap into the fray with the set. Marasi, following instructions, moves along the outside of the brawl, trying to get to the soother in the carriage. She uses her allomancy to scare off the last of the guards and dives in, taking the rioter and soother within hostage. Pretty straightforward. Marasi's part, not so bad.
I love that Marasi in this, just a side note, I really enjoy like how she just like pretends to get hit to like be like to like
Yes,
have
totally
people
stage falls.
yeah, just a bunch of like stage falls and stage fighting like things.
Okay, can I bring up my little thing? really wished. Remember when Wax was at the soothing parlor eon chapters ago? I kind of wish in the background you could see this one soother maybe watching or something, like, and maybe you see her like go to a phone or radio into the set or something. It doesn't necessarily, but I kind of wish we see this one in the background as like a fun little, oh, it's connect, the threads are all diverging kind of thing.
But they don't have the radio yet, reader.
Yeah, I know. But they have
So how could
landlines.
they do that?
Do they have landline? No, they don't.
No, they
They've
don't have.
got,
They don't.
Yeah, this
I don't
isn't
know.
White Sands.
They've got steel runners. They've got the coin shop couriers. That's how they send notes.
Yeah.
That's
Then, then you see her call for one of the coin shots. Also, I get Umbrage vibes from this soother. Just huge Umbrage vibes.
Because she was
I don't know
playing
why.
helpless.
Umbrage. I'm missing a part, and I'm sad about it.
She doesn't really do much. I don't know.
Well, she's all snooty about, when do I get to talk to my solicitor?
Yeah.
But that, I don't
True.
know. I don't know how you get umbrage out of that, but like, I guess it's fair.
I don't know.
Like,
From the
I
first scene, like she's described as like in the book pudgy, and that's what Umbridge was in the book. But then like with all the furls and just the way she is in 26, just I want Imelda Staunton to play this. I want this to just be a cameo for her.
Okay. I'm not gonna yuck your yum, dude.
This is how it works in my head.
And we love you for it. All right, so trauma time. Wax and Bleeder face off, and as Lessie/Bleeder teases him for trying to use the gun on a Kandra. She explains that strong emotion frees them from Harmony's influence, which is a point we'll come back to later. Wax feels so much hurt at seeing his lost wife this way, he literally cries out to God, but God can't speak to him right now. Bleeder approaches Wax, talking out loud about what she needs to do, and professes her still powerful love for him. Wax tries to convince himself that this isn't real, and Bleeder's steel pushes Wax's gun away, and they fall. Wax tries to recover the gun, but Bleeder is there. Bleeder keeps trying to make Wax see her side, and eventually Wax does in fact find the gun. He declares himself Harmony's sword and shoots her in the forehead. She then realizes the horrifying truth that this is not just a regular bullet, it is a hemalurgic spike, and now Harmony can take direct control over her. Clever Wax.
Dun, dun, dun. So you have to reimagine this chapter purely from the mindset of this is just Bleeder pretending to be Lessie, because that way it hurts more.
I don't know, man. It hurts knowing it too. Like when she screams like no, and you can just imagine like she knows that Seiza has control over her again, and her her whole plan and everything that she's done is all falling apart. Like that kind of broke my heart, even though she's crazy and like murdered a bunch of people.
Oh yeah,
That's the important part to remember, right? Like, she's not the Lessie that Wax knew and loved. And she even says in the chapter, she's like, I guess I never was. I was always the Kandra, pretending to be Lessie. So, it's a uniquely creepy situation.
I mean, she has to recognize that feeling. Like she gets shot, doesn't think it, and then she has to feel Sazed's hand around the back of her throat holding her still. And it takes
he starts talking in her head.
Oh, that's awesome. I did not realize that. But you gotta think
Yeah.
takes her straight back to that night in bloody tans. Because why did Wax go for the head? That was completely unnecessary to shoot your wife in the head twice.
Also, like, the chest makes a much bigger target. It's a lot easier.
Right? Yeah. Well, no, there is actually a reason for it. There's a psychological reason, right? He is having flashbacks. He is reliving this moment. And what did he do the first time? He shot her in the head.
So every time he points at her body, you're just like, sorry, guy. Just point it right back up.
I mean, essentially. But he also can't know what her bones look like, right? If she's wearing a true body, which presumably she would have been as Lessie, unless there was a real Lessie that she ate, but that's beside the point. If she's wearing a true body, he can't know what her bones look like, so she might not have a traditional rib cage. She might not have, a traditional skeletal structure. So the only thing he can be sure of that will have a bone is the skull, right? Like you need the skull to make the face.
Well, yeah, but the bullet was special in that it was supposed to stop on entering a body.
I mean, yes, but that's not a guaranteed thing. Like, we have bullets like that in the real world, and it's not a guarantee.
Yeah. And yes, Kay, when he gave the earring to the runner to go to Renette, he said, you gotta do it to these specifications.
Yeah, but... Okay. Never mind. Go ahead. It's okay. No, I believe you that it was to the specific specifications. I just didn't think that it was, like... that it was... I don't think it's ever been specified that it was, like, to stop.
Yeah, there's a point
where it entered a body.
Yeah, there's a point where it was mentioned. I remember it being mentioned.
Okay. I just don't remember it being mentioned.
Yeah, it was a very, like, in passing kind of thing.
Okay.
I just need to point something out.
Uh-oh.
And I'm making more work for myself here. Having Bleeder be Lessie was genius.
Yes.
I mean...
Like, did any of you... Did you guys see that coming?
Hell no. Nobody saw that coming.
Blew my mind.
Like, what if, get this, Wax's wife was a Kandra all along? Like, that had to be the bit that got written after Bands of Mourning, right? Like,
it's unbelievable.
It's pretty bonkers.
I'm trying to find the chapter, but it doesn't matter.
No, I believe you. I just don't remember it. It's such a small detail that, like...
It is. It's really small, like...
Okay, I'll leave it. I remember... See, that's the thing where I feel like there needs to be... I can't remember if I actually thought this was Bleeder pretending or if I remember thinking, oh, this was actually Lessie at this point.
I think I had it was kind of a moment of, like, no, like, that can't be, like, that, like, disbelief at the fact that it's Lessie. Like, you hear it and you, like, believe it, but you're like, no way. Like, I can't actually, like, be believing that this is actually Lessie. Like, what?
It is. There's like a moment of disbelief. Like, no, he wouldn't.
Yeah.
He wouldn't do that. He did.
But oh no, he did.
The he being Brandon.
Right, yeah.
Let's see. So there's a point where Wax sort of looks up at her and you can see Elendel sort of burning behind her. I'm just imagining the trailer, you have two shots. One is of Innate from his back, sort of looking at the crowd as like it's on fire. Not the crowd, but like the area around it is on fire. And you see him like raise his arms as he's giving like an impassionate speech. And then another part of the trailer is this shot where it's Bleeder with the city burning, but it's similar shot, but it's reversed. Where before you see the back of Innate, here you see the front, and it's just a subtle clue on this fact.
I'm with it.
This is how my brain
Fair.
works.
But you would have to show, like, if that was in the trailer, like, it would have to be Bleeder in the mask. Like,
Yeah.
you couldn't show her face.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the mask and just the city burning with. She's got like a long trench coat or something. And it's just, it looks so cool in my head. So, okay, I'll wait. Okay, anything else for chapter 25?
No.
No? Okay, chapter 26. This is the one where we reveal Bleeder's identity, but first we got to deal with the riot. So by the survivor's spear, which is a quote, and I love that, you have Marasi sort of, this is how I verbalize. I can't not.
I was wondering.
You had me take away written notes, and now I need to weave through my thought process with my fingers.
I'm just giving you a hard time, bro.
So Marasi has unbridged the soother by the scruff of her dress, and she's taking her outside, and she's like, you need to soothe these people, you need to calm this down now. And the soother's like, you can't make me, I'm gonna do what I want to do, because to be honest, there's nothing you can really do at this point. And then MeLaan is up there giving the speech as Innate, and it's Marasi's updated version, where apparently it's a little bit worse, and you see Innate sort of be this jerk of a person, where, to be honest, that was the envisionment that Bleeder had of him. And
No. Oh, sorry. No? Like,
well,
not on purpose. Like, the speech is like MeLaan is like, tries to say, like, that things are gonna change, and no one believes her.
she calls them like peasants and ingrates at one point.
But that's not the speech that Marasi writes. That's MeLaan going off
Yeah.
into the like, into the role.
Yeah.
But it's a good way
I
to
know.
see like what Bleeder saw, basically.
What the
Yeah.
people see. And so it's because of that, Elendel has this moment of clarity where you recognize that the leader of their government is a piece of crap who just takes bribes and does whatever he wants, recognizes the people don't want said piece of crap in their chamber of governments, and levels a gun at him and says, "You're under arrest." And then they take him down. They put the cuffs on him, throw him away, and that's the last we see of him in this chapter set. And Elendel stands at this podium. He's like, hey, there's like 8 other nobles that are also on the innate list. We can go get them right now. And the crowd is just super pumped about that. And Marasi is just making the soother work in the crowd's favor. And she's like, you need to do it right now, and I give you immunity. And the soother's like, great. I was waiting for those exact words.
Done.
And at one point, Elendel says, I won't have any rioting or looting. And I'm like, wait a second. Rioting is a term in universe. And then that sent me on a whole mental spiral. What do you call a group of rioters? A frenzy. And then what do you call a group of soothers? And I couldn't come up with a good thing for that. And yeah, that's it for the Marasi. Anything else there?
I just want to say that, like, I really like the parallel Sanderson is drawing here. So it was mentioned earlier that, like, this night is feeling like the night in the Final Empire when the Lord Ruler was overthrown. When everyone the ska rose up, and Elend came out and gave an impassioned speech and got all of the people who were starting to riot under control and got them to channel instead. And so I love that we're seeing Aradel do this same thing. Like it's a really cool parallel. It's really nice to see.
That's cool.
Very good, very good.
I never thought of that.
Mhm.
Anything else for that half before we get to the sad part?
I mean,
Okay.
you can tell this is a fantasy book when they arrest all the corrupt politicians or say that they're going to.
Mm-hmm. Could you get the metaphor I was maybe going there in my little phrasing?
I just kept thinking, wouldn't that be nice? Wouldn't that be nice?
Literally in my notes, the last thing I have at this section is I wish this would happen. Okay. So this is the part where we reveal Bleeder's identity. Because she's laying on the ground and Harmony, I guess, is talking in her head, trying to calm her down. Because I never actually thought about that. But also holding her down. And then Bleeder is like, no, I'm not going to have this happen. Not again. And she just starts convulsing. And Wax is like, what the heck are you doing? And she's like, we came up with a way to prevent this from happening. And long ago, MeLaan brought up the fact, hey, the first generations, the second generations, they all vacated. We figured out a way to actually die. And this is what he is doing. And this is what she is doing. And as she is dying, she looks up at Wax and says, she makes a comment about his silly cravat, calls him Mr. Cravat.
Oh.
And the exact same line that we saw in the prologue. And Wax begins to realize. At first he's like, who told you that? How do you know that? There's no way you could have known that unless you were Lessie back then. And that was Lessie on the day he first met her. That meant the whole time he knew her, she was Lessie. And that whole time she was yelling in chapter 25 about, you need to look at me, you need to see me, you need to understand I'm doing this to help you, was all her speaking the truth. And she did all of this because Harmony basically took away her love. Basically split them apart, made him go back to the Elendel and be the lawman hero that he had to become, or is destined to become, or whatever Harmony's plan is. But she had to die because there was no way else he would have left. And so
well, it's also that she wasn't gonna let him leave. She wasn't gonna send him back to Elendel.
Yeah. I mean, she could have gone with.
Yeah, but she refused. That's what it was. Is it Sazed realized that I think he wanted Lessie, he wanted Pa'am to like convince Wax to go back to Elendel, and then Pa'am could have gone back with him, but she refused because she knew how happy he was out in the roughs, that she was never going to send him back to Elendel.
As she grew to love him.
But that relationship was never right. You know, like, there was probably genuine love there, but like, she could never be honest with him about like who she was.
She, to the Kandra, she was Lessie. That's the whole Kandra ideology. MeLaan commented about it chapter. If I don't like being this person, I'll just be a different person. That's who I am then. To Bleeder, she was Lessie, and I think through Lessie, she found a way to express who she actually thought she was. Because we heard from Tensoon, like, oh, this was the Lord Ruler's personal contract. She had no identity. She did all the horrible stuff. And that was part of the reason Harmony sent her to be with Wax, is because she was willing to be violent in the way no other Kandra was. And I think in the however many years they knew each other, just she found herself in that relationship.
Well,
And
it still wasn't right for Wax, because he never knew she was a slime.
no.
Oh, don't say that. Oh.
And so
17 years.
jeez.
Well, no, 15 years. 15 years. That's how long they were together.
And he just screams. He's holding her and he's screaming into the mist. And it's like they push them away. And sometime later, Tensoon just walks up. And this is a really sad but really good shot. You just see like the pause, and then he sits and just slowly speeds. And it's just a really far away shot, and you can see the emptiness of it because they're on this bridge. It's dark, mist is all around, and it's just empty. Because that's how Wax is right now. To him, he's now killed his wife twice. And Tensoon basically just confirms it. That Harmony sent her there to keep an eye on him for 15, 17 years. And Wax basically is done.
Understandably.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you be?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, if you were forced to watch your wife die by your own hands twice.
Yeah.
I
To be
mean,
fair,
at least the first time he wasn't trying to do it.
yeah. But the trauma of thinking he did it for the last 2 to 3 years.
Exactly. And in a lot of ways, that's what, like, Bleeder did kind of free him from, like, you know, now it's different trauma, but, like, I feel like maybe that was part of the overall goal.
Yeah, Bleeder took away his capital H hands. Raw, violent emotion, heartbreak, anger at God. Wax is not going to listen to what Harmony has to say anymore. And that's the end of this chapter set.
How could you say that?
Right? It's like that's what makes it even more of a gut punch, is because, like, you wouldn't expect Sazed to be so manipulative like that.
But
Especially, what is it with Mistborn Book 2s and killing off the terrorist love interest?
as I say, this is not Sazed anymore. Like, we're slowly like seeing that, like, Harmony is not the Sazed that we knew.
Yeah, I mean, he took on that aspect of ruin, you know, like he's capable of some dastardly stuff now.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he said it in the carriage, like the capacity for violence has to exist.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Next time we're going to be wrapping up the book with the epilogue, the Ars Arcanum, the No, it's not called a newspaper, but whatever the newspaper is called.
Broadsheets.
Broadsheets, thank you. And we're going to give our ranking on this book.
Do
But
we really have to do the broadsheets?
Yeah. We could just briefly mention like parts of it. Like we don't have to like if there's anything that we want to talk about.
we didn't go into detail on them on the first one. We don't need to. It's just if something catches our eye.
Okay,
You just don't want to read more Alamancer Jack.
you are correct.
But for now, it is time to head into the spoiler realm. So if you have not finished, the epilogue or the entire series, or potentially the entire Cosmere, then we recommend that you stop here because likely we will talk about everything and anything. Feel free to stick around because it's likely we will bring up details you might have missed or plot threads still yet to come. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, star, heart, or whatever it is on this podcast, and don't be afraid to comment your own thoughts and predictions. We would love to hear from you. Check out our socials in the description. But for now, this is where we must part. My name is ReaderWarrior, and I've been joined by SwiggitySwoo.
Is someone you know a slime? Call this number now. You may be entitled to a large sum of money.
John?
Hasta la vista, Kandra.
Oh. Okay.
Have a good one.
And don't forget, there's always another connection. And we're back. Spoilers.
Okay, reader, you can ask your question now.
We'll get to it when we get to it because I don't remember which specific question.
It was from chapter 24. You were talking about something about Lessie.
Oh, it was from 25, but we'll get there. I remember what it is. So chapter 22. You think she's practicing this speech like in the way most people are like, I need this speech to be better. It needs to be strong. But she's like, nah, I can make it hurt more. I gotta hit those idiots in the fields. I gotta make them hate me just a little bit more. Why did she? Wax turns around and she's already got the gun pointed. How the fudge did she know?
Because she knows him.
She knows him. That's how she knows. She was his wife.
I know, but like, what in the milliseconds of him figuring it out and turning around did she notice that made her pull out her gun and point it?
Him pausing at the window, I think, is what like cued her in. Like she probably saw him tense up. Like that's what I'm guessing happened is that he like once he realized it, he tensed up before he turned around.
Or there was the gum.
The gum
I mean,
As far as
there's
signals,
on the windowsill.
as far as signals go, that was pretty lame.
It's always the gum.
The line about, oh, she might have turned you into a spike. I was like, wait, she was going to do what? And then later she's like, nah, I just wanted him out of the picture. And I was like, oh, thank goodness she's not that far gone.
No, she's like, no, I just couldn't kill him.
He's that lovable little sidekick we used to have.
well, and how many people really like would have thought of that on their own? Like, I certainly didn't until it was mentioned. I was like, oh god.
I also thought it was pretty sweet. I think she said something like she loved Wayne for like being there for Wax.
Yeah.
So it was part
When
of
she
that
couldn't.
too. Yeah. I thought that was kind of sweet.
Mm-hmm. Chapter 23. The only thing I got is the funny little line where he cultivated you, and I was like, no, cultivation's the other one.
I know, right?
Okay, so there's gonna come a point, if he keeps writing at the rate that he does, where you can't say a verb or noun, like a descriptor, without
An adjective?
referencing some kind of, yes, thank you, adjective, without referencing some kind of Cosmere something,
Yeah.
right? Like, we're getting there. We're getting there.
That's the way
It's
it should.
happening.
That's the way it should be. We got 11 months to go. Because December is
And-
now like a Cosmere.
Oh, I was
That's
like,
the
until what?
Sorry.
I get that. Very nice, very nice, very nice. I
It's
think
also not 11 months until December. There's definitely less months until December.
that is very true.
I meant
eight.
like now 1 month is canon, so let's start canonizing the rest of
Oh,
them.
I see. There's 11 more to canonize.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Oh, okay.
Confused.
My jokes have a lot of steps sometimes.
Now December just has 11 siblings.
Yeah.
So I think in this chapter Bleeder switches bodies from innate to the Lessie one. I think Lessie had to be a person because I think her being the blank slate that she was would not have had a true body. And it was in Lessie's body that she found herself. So I think Lessie was a person. And therefore what she changes into right now are human bones.
I mean, it's certainly possible.
We can't rule it out.
Maybe even likely.
Also, there was a recent wob, and I say recent, it happened in like December-ish, where apparently, this is going to send us on a whole tangent. Somebody asked about, hey, was Rashek's plan to turn everybody into slime creatures? Was that like conscious, or did he have like an idea in mind? And apparently, things from classical area, like there existed sort of things, and that drew Rashek's inspiration to make them like that.
So
Oh,
there
wow.
in classical Scadrial, there existed like creatures similar to the Kandra, or like in mythology there existed creatures similar, not to the Kandra, to the wraiths.
Yeah. Did the Lord really figure out how to make Kandra himself, or did he get the idea from something that already existed on Scadrial? Brandon, there was already existing things on Scadrial that I would say gave him the idea.
Gross.
Wow.
Not
That's interesting.
approved.
It's a huge lore drop, though, kind of.
Yeah. I saw the 17 Shard was wondering if if Rashek just sort of went about it by removing the ferochemic trait, did that just turn them into the sludge monsters or whatever? We don't need to get into it, but it was a fun while that I thought I would bring up because it blew my mind.
That actually reminds me of this, the Way of Kings, because no, I'm just kidding.
Oh boy, all roads lead to Roshar.
Yeah, they do. It's true.
Okay, chapter 24. I really don't think she was marksman. He stores weight to get a little bit of faster because drag and lift and yada yada. Okay, so here's the what if. What would have happened if Bleeder listened to Wax in this moment and was like, okay, I'll turn myself in?
So,
Therapy.
I mean, I don't know if they had therapy at this point.
Yes, they do.
They do? Okay. I figured
Well,
you
kind
would
of.
know.
There was the reference at the soothing parlor that he need the one guy who
Oh,
was having a panic attack,
true.
and she was like, "Oh,
Yeah.
he needs a real physician."
Okay, valid. Um,
I
so
know Adriel fairly well sometimes.
what I would say is, uh, if she had turned herself in, she probably would have been forced to give up her, um, I guess, corrupt spike and given a regular one, right? Like a normal blessing.
Yeah, 2 probably.
Well, right,
Ooh, her
but
original. Where are those?
we don't know.
I don't think it's ever stated.
Although I
Which
think it would
one
be
was.
fitting if the new earring that Wax gets was made from her original blessings.
Okay, that's a little messed up, but I'll come back to that in a bit.
That's a little messed up. That's a lot of messed up.
Yeah, but like there's the line in Bands of Mourning where sort of explaining why he did it. I can't wait for that part. I love that part. And he's like, "Oh, did you want her to live a life she didn't really want under my control? Would that have been good for her?" And I'm like, "Okay, but if she actually tried, like if there was visiting hours or something, I can't I'm trying to balance the plan that Harmony has versus the pieces and what they need to be."
I don't think that Pa Alm would have ever recovered. I think that it broke her too much. Being forced to die in front of Wax. I think I don't think she would have ever recovered from it.
It's also just like, oh man, it ain't right because Wax is trying to move on and figure out the situation with Steris and like his whole new life in the city, and things are kind of moving on, you know.
I mean, this. I don't know. The scene of Wax. Oh wait, no, that's in the epilogue. Never mind. I guess we could talk about it. We're in the spoiler section, right?
Yeah.
So like that scene where Wax is just sitting in the chair, staring at the fire, and Steris just sits down next to him. Like that is the real bonding moment, right? Like that is where this becomes real. He can confide in her and trust in her, and she understands how much he is hurting, and she can show it without having to interrupt his mental process. Like that shows their real true understanding of one another.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like it's kind of a story about accepting change and accepting like a new role in your life and like
And grieving.
yeah. And you especially when you read Bands of Mourning, you know, you never look at this part the same again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. When does he give that earring?
Which earring? Confused.
Wax gives his earring to the person to take it to Renette. I can't seem to find that for the life of me. It doesn't matter. Chapter 25. So there's the line where you were I can't even remember the specific line anymore. 1 second. Where she's like, "Oh, you are his more than anyone else," or something like that, right? Or am I remembering that wrong?
I'm
There's
not
something
sure
like that.
what line you're talking about.
Okay, it's not that one. It's not that one. It's this point of view. Here it is. Still don't know what to do about Wayne. Couldn't bring myself to kill him, poor fool. He followed you here to help you in the city. For that, I love him. But he's still Harmony's, and so he's probably better off dead than he is now. The irony of the fact that Wayne is probably more Harmony's than Wax, considering the plan was to get Wayne to that point in the Lost Metal. Hilarious to me that she just writes off Wayne when that's the true queen piece on this chessboard.
That is awesome.
She's not writing off Wayne. Like, she's saying that Wayne is controlled by Harmony.
Yeah, but she's like, oh, he's just the fool. He's just the idiot I can, tie up and throw into a corner. She calls him like the poor fool.
Yeah, but that's because Wayne wasn't her love. Like,
I know, but if it's just the knowing the intricate chess moves Harmony did to get Wayne to that point, and we always thought this was a Wax thing, but it was always a Wayne plan. It's just,
Mhm.
it's so cool. I love the god fingers just moving it all.
I know, and Wayne even has that line of like, "Oh, Wax is always doing impossible things, but that's why I'm here in case he can't do it."
No. Marasi references the War of Ash, capital W, capital A. And on some level, I kind of think it would be better if, we only ever see the Umbridge one. They're like when they go outside, the rioter is gone, I believe. If it was like a nicrobooster and we got to see like an actual representation of nicrosil fairings.
Yeah, I don't think we ever really
Um,
see Nicrosil being used
Nope.
on screen.
We see the other one.
Yeah.
The aluminum external. And that's it.
What does Nicrosil do again?
Nicrosil is Duralumin, but for other people.
Cool. So you can make other people's allomancy stronger.
Yeah.
Yep. Which I feel would work really well in this situation.
I mean, it would, but let's. You're talking about with the Soother, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's a bad idea. Because what happens when you burn duralumin and zinc at the same time? Well, I guess yes. Okay, you're talking about in reference to taking over the bleeder, right? Or are you talking about with the crowds?
With the crowd.
Okay, so let's just completely give away the fact that we are soothing. Is what you're saying? Because when that happens, it becomes extremely obvious that your emotions are not what you're feeling.
And it only lasts a split second. And so
Right.
after that split second, everyone's going to get more angry.
Right.
You don't think in that split second where she had to soothe them now, like they couldn't all have felt that? Also, they could have multiple files.
I mean, yeah, they can always eat more of their appropriate metal, but like,
I'm just saying this would have been it would have been story better in my head if this was showing off one of the new powers rather than a rioter that then vanishes.
I still disagree because, okay, now you have to explain why all of the sudden, for one split second, their allomancy was so much more powerful than it was before.
Marasi says, and a rioter, and then no nicrobooster. I feel like it would have been fairly easy to explain.
But
For those of us
they-
who are cosmerically aware and know what
Touche.
that is, because that's not
Yeah.
been explained anywhere else on screen.
Okay,
Yeah.
imagine this.
Also-
Marasi looked at the belt and saw vials of nitrocell. She realized this must have been a nicrobooster, and he was. The term nicrobooster is hilarious to me because that's so modern.
But
she realized.
I do want to say, like, real quick, that the rioter makes more sense to have. Because
Absolutely.
the point was to get the crowd in a frenzy.
Literally
Yeah.
a riot.
Which is difficult to do with just a soother.
Okay, then have the rioter, the soother, and the nicrobooster. Have them be a throuple. But is the complaint more so?
It, man?
The complaint, because they're holding hands when we first see them. The complaint was more so in chapter 25. The rioter is gone. We only see the soother.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't know what happened to the riot. But it might have been just that like Reddy had already taken the rioter like away. Like Marasi just grabbed the soother because the soother was going to be more useful to her.
Okay. Here's the question. Here's the big one. And this is sort of tying into the idea that maybe Bleeder's spice was one of those earrings. What happens when a Kandra has one blessing and one random spike? Which is what we now see. Because I don't believe... Because blessings are very specific, right?
So the blessings. So Kandra need 2 spikes in order to be sentient. They the combination of spikes is what gives them the extra powers that they have. Whether that's the strength, the mental, the physical strength, the mental strength. There's 2 more, but I can't remember what they are. There's 4 different types of blessings.
Oh yeah,
Right. Yeah,
there's
it's not.
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter, but the 2 spikes in conjunction give them that extra, or just give them that extra power. Like technically, like as I said, they only need 1 spike in order to be cognizant.
Also,
the 2 spikes gives them the extra power.
Also, would infer from that a Kandra can exist that does not get a power.
Yeah, I think that's correct. Yeah.
That's what we're kind of seeing. Because you can have one of the one type and one of the other. Because I'm remembering in Bands of Mourning, Tensoon tries to give one of his 4 spikes to the one Kandra investigator. But then he spits it right out because it's identity. So I'm just like, what is the effects of this random hemalurgic spike on a Kandra?
Well, Bleeder, so we also have to keep in mind, Bleeder right now doesn't have any of her regular spikes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Bleeder only has the Trellium spike, which in itself is not one of the blessings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I think that I think that that's affecting her more so than like having a random like regular hemalurgic spike in her.
So as long as 2 ruin antennas are inside of a Kandra, that shard can take control. In my mind, it always had to be the blessings and then yada yada.
I wonder what separates the
Any
blessings from just like a random spike, though.
Well, my question is, like, who are those blessing spikes made from? Like, are they just made from
Regular people. Regular
Okay,
people.
so
they're the they are. Oh, this doesn't have the hemalurgic stealing chart on it. But yeah, so they're the ones that steal regular attributes. They that do not steal allomantic attributes.
Seven Kolos.
Yeah, that's the type of metal that's in those spikes.
Makes
okay.
sense.
Well,
Okay. Anything else for 25? This is the one where Wax also said, "I'm his sword."
No, he says that in 26. Oh no,
Says it
that
in
is
25.
25. That is 25. 25 is when he shoots her. Yeah, you're correct.
Nope. 25 is when he shoots her. He says, "I'm his sword," shoots her. She gets taken. 26 is where she dies, heartbreakingly. And the only thing I really have on this one is that Kandra have a pulse, which shouldn't be a surprise, but it was a confirmation apparently I didn't know I needed.
Yeah, they have organs. They bleed.
Thanks, Kay.
You're welcome.
I suppose they don't really need to, though, maybe?
They would need to. Okay, here we're getting into anatomy. The heart pumping, blood being, and oxygen filling cells is part of keeping the body, not from dying. And we've seen that Miles is able to get around that by tapping healing, but Kandra don't really have that, so it makes sense that they need to breathe or have a heart. Although I imagine in the future, Kandra can get really freaky with the shape-shifting powers.
Do Kandra need to breathe? I don't think they do.
They need to oxidize the blood.
I don't think they need to breathe. I think Ulam specifically doesn't breathe in Tress. Because he's weird.
well, okay, yeah, but that's after they learn how to respirate through their or respire through their skin or what have you. Like, if they don't have standard frogs, they're not going to learn that trick until later.
See, this is the annoying thing of the word breath with the word Kandra. Is I cannot find a wob that is not about how many breaths would be fair to turn a Mistwraith into a Kandra.
The world
Which
may
I'm
never
guessing
know.
the answer is Raffo.
Turning a Mistwraith to a Kandra would be hard with breath. It doesn't give sentience. And that was asked by Phantom Monstrosity back in
But
2015.
it does give sentience. We know that. You need 1,000 to give an inanimate thing sentience.
Oh, you need more than 1,000.
Didn't they say it took 1,000 breaths to make Nightblood?
Did it?
Pretty sure.
Why are we on Warbreaker?
It was about
started it.
1,000. Yeah, if I remember correctly.
Okay. For some reason, I was thinking it was thousands.
I thought it was
plural.
thousands.
Oh, maybe. I guess that's possible, but I'm pretty sure it's singular 1,000.
Yeah, that's fair. I could just be misremembering that it's singular instead of plural.
Repeatedly said Nightblood is ridiculously heavily invested, more so the Sharp Blades, Honor Blades, Bands of Morning, but it only has 1,000 breaths. which doesn't seem that much from the point of view of the God King. 10 lightning over 50,000. Brandon says this is a rifle.
Yeah. But you do need to be at the 9th heightening in order to create.
To create sentience.
Yeah.
Also, we know Nightblood is weird, not just because of that. So, yeah, okay. I
Also,
forgot
there
about
might be a
for a second.
different level of breathness to a living creature.
Yeah, I don't.
What do you
Yeah.
mean?
Because Kandra Mistrace are a living creature. The 1,000 breaths I thought was for inanimate objects like metal to give it sentience. There might be some weirdness in making like a pig think than it is to make a desk think, magic-wise.
Perhaps.
Oh, I
For
wonder
sure.
if you switched all of if you could switch all of a Mistrate's blood out for ichor alcohol solution, if you could then use a
Awaken it?
lifeless command to like
Would it,
awaken a Mistwraith.
would it be able to survive that?
I don't know. I don't even know if you could actually do it because it would I feel like it would regenerate its blood like too much. Like I don't think it would even be possible to do it.
This is like something Ishar would do in his garage.
Very true. Okay, we are so off topic right now though.
That's what
Yeah.
we do.
Yep. Well, I got nothing else. This is it. We have pretty much finished Shadows of Self. Huzzah.
Woo.
Oh.
Yep. Well, that's just gonna about cover it for this episode. Thank you so much for joining us in our ramblings, and not a lot of predictions, but there were some. This has been Cosmere Connections, and we hope you'll tune in next time. Bye.
See you later.
Have a good night, morning, or day.